Okay, Bay State Running here with a very special guest, former Seacon great Johnny Gregorek, and one of our nation's, one of our world's actually top milers. Johnny, welcome to Bay State Running.
Thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here.
So, Johnny, I want to talk to you about a few things. I want to talk to you a little bit about your career, about the Olympic trials and everything. But first, I want to start off about a unique event that you're doing right now, which is going to take place on May 30th at 6 p.m.
Yes.
And it's called the Blue Jean Mile.
You got it.
It's pretty much you're going to run a mile in blue jeans.
Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you're doing this to raise money for the National Alliance on Mental Illness and to honor your brother Patrick, I believe.
You got it. Absolutely, yeah. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and we'll be raising money for the National Alliance on Mental Illness. Yeah.
So let's talk about this event. Why this event? So you're going to be going for the world record, right? Which I believe is 4:11:30.
Yeah, yep. 4:11:80, I think, is
80.
the current standing world record.
So why this? Why this?
Yeah, I think it was a challenge that was it had been sort of done by a few professional runners and started out sort of as like a joke in the running community. And then I figured, with all this time of no official races going on due to the virus and everything, that there was just sort of an opportunity for me to do something and assign some meaning to this event that had already kind of existed, which is more of a joke, but then kind of turn into something that actually has some meaning to it and has some, a fundraising element and an awareness element to it. So I think everyone's always kind of, looking for fun ways to mix it up in this time. And this is just the way I've found to do that. And it's, we'll see how fast I can run and we'll see how much of a difference the jeans make. But if anything, it'll be an entertaining spectacle. And at least if it's just that alone, then that's good. But also we're glad we've already raised some awareness and some money. Yeah.
Yeah. The one thing I'm curious about, obviously you do your regular training, what you would for the mile, but do you actually run like some of your runs with blue jeans on?
No, I just, I'll do some, strides and 100-meter sprints with the jeans on just to get a feel for them and understand how they're going to fit and how they're going to move on my legs. But I don't really do anything more than that because I'm still training hard for events later in the year. I don't want to risk hurting myself or anything like that. So it's more of we're just going to put them on the day and then we're going to see what happens, and I'll be finding out along with everyone else how much the blue jeans affect me, but I'll be giving it my 100%. So we'll see.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people don't realize just how difficult this is. I mean, I know you make a difference, your overall fitness, but you also your apparel, what you wear is you want it to be loose and stuff to run fast. So now you got these jeans on. So I think it's going to be very difficult. So again, that record is 4:11. How fast are you shooting for a particular time?
No, I would say that the first and foremost, the goal is just to break that record. We'll probably get out fast in the first couple laps, and we'll see. We'll see if I have a pacer. We're still trying to figure out if I can have a socially distanced pacer, but no matter what, we're going to be getting out of the gates hard and way below record pace. And the 4-minute mile's been thrown out there as a potential barrier to try to break in the jeans, but that would be a hefty goal. So I would say for now it's just to healthily break the record and handily break it, and that's the primary goal. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was looking up some stuff on Google and I saw that Rory Linklater, I guess the guy who originally had the record, he kind of thinks you're going to smash it.
Yeah. So there's been a few people, I guess, who have had the record, and all great runners, but I think that I have the benefit of taking it a little more seriously, I think, than a lot of people before me have, because again, it was sort of this joke sort of thing. But now maybe after this, then I'll have some of the top runners in the country who want to step up and we can do a race or something in blue jeans and really give it some more traction. We'll see.
And again, this is going to be at an undisclosed location.
Yeah.
But it's going to be live on Instagram. And again, May 30th at 6 p.m.
You got it. Yep. Live on my Instagram. And my wife and a few people that I train with will be at the track and, providing the splits and then giving some commentary. Yeah.
And again, like I said, National Alliance of Mental Illness on Mental Illness is what you're raising the money for. How can people donate money.
Yeah, well, if people would like to donate, I'd be more than grateful. And you can find a link to donate on my Instagram page, on my Twitter page, both just Johnny Gregorek, just my name, as well as same thing on Facebook. So the link's there, and if anyone can spare anything and want to contribute to a great cause, the associate or the Alliance on Mental Illness provides a ton of great resources for those suffering from mental illnesses and their families and their caretakers. So obviously right now with the isolation going on and the lack of resources for these sorts of things, it's an important time for it, and just as important as ever. So if you want to donate, that'd be great. Thanks.
And speaking of that isolation that you're talking about, obviously with COVID-19, it's kind of put a standstill to a lot of things, including postponing the Olympic trials and the Olympics another year. How did that affect you? So that, I mean, I'm sure you were looking at the Olympic trials and making the Olympic team. Talk about your reaction to that.
Yeah, it was definitely it was a hard thing to come to terms with. I think that a lot of us, we plan our lives around these competitions and around the Olympics, and we plan our lives in 4-year schedules. And I'm thankful that I think I have a lot of running left in me. A lot of my colleagues don't necessarily have that luxury of continuing on in the sport. This was kind of their last hurrah. So it was hard for a lot of people. And I just tried to, take it one day at a time and keep my head on straight and stay fit for when races do come back. I had been a little bit injured in the winter, so it wasn't clear whether or not, I'd be healthy. And that was a point of concern. And so I was really focusing on staying healthy, and I wasn't really thinking about the virus. But as soon as the Olympics were postponed, I was able to take a step back and just focus on getting healthy and then getting some strength under my belt. And now I've been running a lot of mileage and putting in a great base of training. And I'm excited for the Blue Jean Miles, just to kind of be a nice test of my fitness, even if it is with some denim on.
Certainly going to be interesting. So, Johnny, last March, you ran your all-time best for the mile, 3:49. At the BU Last Chance meet. I think you became the second fastest American, right, indoors?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
How has things been going since then?
I mean, it's definitely, I've had ups and downs for sure, as any athlete does in the sport. I've had some great races, and I medaled at the Pan American Games, and had some good summer performances, as well as some tough days. Like at the U.S. Championships, I had a tough day, and so it's peaks and valleys, and we're just getting through. My brother passed away in March of 2019, not long after that 3:49 race, and so that was from an emotional standpoint, for myself and my family, a really difficult time. And so getting through that was its own battle, but thankfully my family, my wife, the running community is so great and so strong, and helped us get through. But so that took its toll. But I've had injuries and days when I've been in great shape and in bad shape, and so it's just like anything in life. It's had ups and downs, but I think that the general trend is moving in a positive direction, and I'm really faithful that and hopeful that the Olympics are going to work out for me in 2021, and I'll be there. And I think that right now, in this time and in this moment, is kind of where we start on that journey. So hoping to kick it off in style with this Blue Jean Mile.
I do want to offer my condolences to you and your family on your brother's
Thank
passing,
you.
by the way.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So let's talk about so you're a high school runner at Seekonk. You did fairly well, sub 9:20 2-mile, and I think 4:15 for the mile. Then you go on to college, and your career really took off. You started off at Columbia, but it kind of really blossomed from there. Talk about that transition, going from high school right into college, and then in the way it went.
Absolutely. I've been really blessed with fantastic coaches at every step of my journey, and legendary coaches, and as in Massachusetts with Frank Mooney at Seekonk High, and even going throughout my life with the coaches at Columbia and at Oregon, and even Frank Gagliano and Tom Nohilly now are my coaches, and so I have all these wonderful people who have been giving me so much advice, and it's really just been taking it one year at a time and really just seeing what I can get out of myself more and more. And so it started out in high school, and getting to the point where I was one of the better runners in the conference, then the state, and then I continued it into college, and it kind of kept snowballing. And I think it's just a testament that those times I ran as a high schooler, while they were good at the time and they're good now, it's a lot of high schoolers now are running crazy times. So I think it's a testament to that. Everyone moves at their own pace, everyone improves at their own pace. And so I was fortunate enough to run well enough and see enough improvement at Columbia that I was an All-American there, and that springboarded me into being able to go to Oregon and be coached by the great coach Andy Powell out there. And he helped me to get to another level as a runner, to the point where I was running sub 4 minutes in the mile and competing even more confidently on the national stage. And then from there I was able to springboard into being a professional athlete and move out to New York and train with the folks on the New Jersey, New York track club. So it's been a matter of just each year progressively getting a little bit more out of myself and a little bit more out of myself. And it's a real testament to just good coaching and good teammates, and just having, staying faithful to believing in myself, and, injuries here and there like anyone gets, but I'm happy to have had a generally upward trend throughout my career, and it's been great. Thanks.
Yeah, like I said, you're one of our world's best milers. But what I want to talk about is breaking 4 minutes for the mile for the first time. That's obviously a milestone that a lot of athletes shoot for.
Yeah.
You did it at the Millrose Games in 2015, and became you were put on a short list with your dad also breaking 4 minutes of people that are a father-son duo that have broken 4 minutes for the mile. But talk about that, breaking that 4 minutes. For the first time.
Absolutely. It was definitely a special day. It was at the Millrose Games in the Wanamaker Mile, so it was really fun to have broken the 4 minute mile and at such a storied event. And I got pretty clobbered in the race, but it was really nice because I think there wasn't a lot of fanfare behind it. When I ran that mile, I was on the team at Oregon, and I had a lot of fantastic teammates like Edward Cheserek, and the list goes on and on of the guys that I was training with and I was surrounded by at that time. So while it was such an important thing to me, and I knew that it was such a breakthrough, I was also kept humble in the moment, in the fact that I knew that I had just gotten kind of crushed in the race, and I had also have these teammates who are able to do, run way under 4 minutes. And so it was it was like, I did it, and it was special for me, but it was also, I didn't let my head get too big or anything like that. And I knew that there was a much more I could get out of myself. So it was a really, it was a great day of best of both worlds. And I was thankful for that, because sometimes when you have a huge breakthrough performance, it can be hard to bounce back from. But in that moment, I was able to key back in and get ready for the national meet and get ready for whatever was next, because so much more was expected out of me than just a sub 4 minute mile. That, while as historic and fun of a thing that is to do, it was just sort of on to the next one afterwards. So it was cool.
And talk about the influence of your parents. Your dad, John Gregorek, a 2-time Olympian. Your mom, Christine Mullen Gregorek, a 2-time national champion in college, right? And you're also an Olympian.
Olympic trials finalist, but very
Olympic
close
trials
to
finalist. Talk about the influence your parents had on you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that my parents, first and foremost, taught me just a lot about working hard and just, being a sportsman and being a gracious competitor and that sort of thing. And they didn't really push me into being a distance runner or anything like that. They just wanted me to, be happy and just do things that I enjoyed and loved. And I saw how much joy they got out of running, and they were coaches at Brown University throughout my childhood. And so I was kind of exposed to that and got a taste for it. And it wasn't exactly like I was dying to become a distance runner, but I did see that they had an amazing life in that sport, and they traveled the world and they met all these great people and formed these great friendships. So it kind of started with that. And I thought, okay, I kind of want to be a part of this tradition and a part of this story. And so that's what got me into the sport. And yeah, I'm really thankful that they never pushed me into training hard or anything like that. It was first and foremost just about having fun with it and doing it for the love of it, and then let the fast times come from there and the good performances come from there. So it was you couldn't ask for a better upbringing, but because they gave me, they gave me the good genes for it, and then they gave me the healthy mentality towards it. So it was perfect.
I want to tell you a story about your mom. About
Sure.
25 years ago, I ran in one of those brown all-comer meets.
Nice.
And I'm coming down the final straightaway, and I look to my side, and I see this woman next to me.
Uh-oh.
I end up just beating this woman. I find out it's your mom. And I think I ran
Nice.
207 that day, so she ran pretty quick.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, she's still in great shape to this day, and yeah, for the longest time she would go out. I'm not sure if she does it anymore, but she would go out to the track and do 200s and that sort of thing. But yep, so she's always stayed in shape and whatnot. But I'm glad you were able to preserve your own pride and at least edge her out that day, because if it was 10 years earlier,
I didn't even know she was in the race. I was just like, who is this woman?
Yeah. Oh yeah, she got wheels.
Well, what's your thoughts on high school track now? Now, it was pretty good when you were there, but now it seems like it's taken off when you got all these kids that are breaking 4 minutes for the mile and running sub 9 minutes for the 2 mile. What's your thoughts on that happening right now?
Yeah, I think that definitely the way that people are training is at a whole nother level on the high school level, and the amount of information that we have. I think that running, like a lot of other sports, running is one of those sports where you see someone's performances and you're able to, think, okay, I saw that and I watched that, now I can do it. And I know that growing up, there was a little bit of, the internet was obviously becoming big, but social media when I was in high school, and obviously before that, wasn't a huge factor. So I think that the ability to spread information, the ability to share workouts and to watch your competitors race and watch the best runners in the country race and see them do these great things has really changed the way that runners view running. I remember just when I was in high school, the person that was the most the coolest was whoever was the best on the team, and then maybe the best in the conference. And then even in the state, you weren't even really sure who the best guys were or anything. Whereas now I think high schoolers are very well aware of what it takes to be at that next level. So the mileage has increased. The workouts are becoming more, professional in their design. And I think that's showing in the results.
How about your thoughts on the Massachusetts runners? I mean, a few that come to mind, Ryan Houston, who's now at Stanford he ran 8:57 for 2 miles, 8:53, I think, for 3,200 meters, and Thomas Ratcliffe, who started at Stanford, but also started at Concord Carlisle, sub 9 minute 2 mile. And I'll tell you something about him. He ran the New Balance National Indoor meet, got second there, but he had food poisoning the morning up and still got second.
Wow. Very Michael Jordan-esque of him.
Yeah, exactly. And then last spring, finished in third in the 5,000 meters. But what's in the nationals? So what's your thoughts on the Massachusetts guys and what they're doing and girls?
Yeah. I mean, Massachusetts has such a rich history of distance running, and I'm, you got your Alberto Salazar and Andy Powell setting the tone back in the day, but now it's nice to see them continuing this tradition and keeping the Massachusetts name on the map. And I'm super proud of those guys. And yeah, I've definitely been following along. And Thomas Ratcliffe's dad, Tom Ratcliffe, knows my dad really well. So I've been able to keep informed on his running and whatnot. And I'm just happy for those guys. Yeah, it's great. It's a great connection to have. And I'm excited to get back into that running community is someday moving back to the New England area and be able to, be much more involved.
And Thomas Ratcliffe's dad was actually a teammate of mine at Cumberland High.
Oh, cool. Wow. There you go.
So he had some talent there back then.
Yeah.
Johnny, what's some advice you could give to those young runners out there?
Yeah. Advice I would give to young runners out there. I mean, I guess I'll give it advice in more current state of affairs, because I think that one thing I'm seeing is a lot of, people being bummed out that they're losing their senior year or whatever, their senior seasons, or even if it's a junior or someone who is hoping to have a big season and kind of set themselves up for the future. is to just kind of try to make the best of every moment, and use this time now to kind of reset and, you know, maybe do some things and like we were talking about, elevate your training to a new level, and take the time to really find your love for the sport. And I would say that it's just about getting out there every day and trying to give it your best, and get the little wins out of every day, and just, you know, again, just be grateful for what we got here, and be grateful for the gift that is this sport, and the people you can meet, and the things you can do. So it's while it's a difficult time right now, you know, we'll all get through it, and there's lots of good stuff to come.
Certainly great advice, and I appreciate it. Well, Johnny, I thank you for joining us today and giving us all this great information, and good luck with your career too. But I also want to wish you luck on this Blue Jean Mile. Again, it's May 30th at 6 p.m. and it's live on your Instagram.
You got it. Yep, that'll be on my Instagram page live. So tune in, and I appreciate it.
So we'll certainly be rooting for you. But again, thanks a lot.
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
You too.